When I first showed up at my grandmother's house in Appalachia at 12 years old, she took me into the kitchen, took me under her wing, and in the first day she pointed out that food isn't just feeding people, it's providing comfort. We had spent some time up in the Shenandoah National Park hiking, so we kind of became acquainted with the area. I love the idea of the rolling hills. I love the cattle. I like hearing the roosters. It's just so much calmer out here. I just thought, I think this is where I want to go. Found this cute little farmhouse, and it was simply a place to get away, not thinking that one day I was going to be launching, a food enterprise out here. Started baking out here, and a woman who owns a country store asked me if I might consider making some baked goods for her to sell on Saturday mornings. So I'd leave work early in DC, come out here, fire up the oven, make breads, some quiche, pies, a couple cakes. And I drove in this old red truck and took these goods to her store on Saturday mornings. I kept coming back to Warrenton because we'd first seen it on a Sunday and the bells were ringing off Main Street, and it just felt so Norman Rockwell. And these are people who would come back again and again when we opened. We looked around, found an old 1921 gas station, and it was vacant, and I signed a lease on it. Pretty soon, we were open with the roar of a recession heading our way. Virginia Living did a story on us. Southern Living did a story. Pretty soon, people were coming to Warrenton with a copy of Southern Living in their hand, and they didn't live near here, and they just wanted to get out and visit what Southern Living told them they should go see. Suddenly there was national interest in this little bakery on a tiny little main street in rural Virginia. I also had enlisted the help of local farmers to grow the kind of things I wanted to put into our pies. Blueberries are such a big thing in the summer for us, and it's great to have this local farmer purveyor who can just come by with whatever we need whenever we need it. And knowing that these things just got picked in the last day or so, it just doesn't get much fresher than that. So we really embrace our local farmers who, as it turns out, will drop what they're doing to get what we need to us as long as it's available. The Fauquier County supervisor asked me if I had considered Marshall, and I said, well, I'd looked at that area originally, and it just seemed so down on its luck, and there were a lot of stores that were closed, and I just didn't see a lot of street traffic. The more I looked at Marshall, the more I realized that, we could work on this and get some business in there. We opened up, and we became this little community gathering spot, and other businesses arrived. The Whole Ox Butcher Shop was next. They're right across the street and down a couple doors. Pretty soon, a good friend of mine bought this late 1700s kind of roadhouse across the street from us, and they were going to open a farm-to-table restaurant. Pretty soon, it was the three of us with our three businesses going, and it just brought more people into town, and pretty soon, little coffee houses opened. Suddenly, here were just hundreds more homes coming in, and that gave me a great feeling that did we really spark this thing? The arrival of a little bakery kind of sparked this renewed interest in Main Street right as it needed it, as the Great Recession had hit and was kind of winding down. I think my proudest achievement is creating comfort and kind of just creating community for other folks in our area, and as it turns out, nationwide. I found happiness through food and making other people happy with it. We're just kind of this little destination bakery with one old red truck parked out in front of one store, and it's It's not about me or building this bakery, but seeing other people's reaction to what we're doing. That brings me the most happiness, I think.